Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fine episode of This is the Way of Humanities. In this episode, we are going to take a long and meandering look at education. So, what I want to do is start an assignment where you are going to create for me your ideal school. And we're going to start that by looking at how the education system works and what different people have put forward as ideas. Going through COVID-19 right now, we're seeing some really big changes in education, and a lot of people are asking how those changes will continue going forward. What if there's a second wave? What if there are students that are just doing better doing work from home? What if we have to continue working from home and there are students that aren't doing so well? How could we improve that? So I thought it might be great for you guys to kind of make up your own ideal model of education. And to start that, I'm just going to turn here so that I can include my fancy screen image. This is the Wikipedia page for Thomas More's 1516 book, Utopia. That is where the word comes from. He coined it. He put it together from two Greek words meaning no place or good place, depending on who you listen to. But it was essentially an imaginary island. You can see the picture of the island there. And he posited that on this imaginary island, there would be an ideal way of living, which you could see why people would interpret that as no place, because there is no ideal, perfect government. Winston Churchill was famously quoted as saying, "Democracy is absolutely horrible. It is the worst thing going, but it's the best thing that we have." So you continue with it. With this in mind, you are going to tell me what your kind of ideal school would look like. So I've got this wonderful slideshow I put together. There we go, Utopian education. I've included this lovely picture of this architectural wonderment. What does the building look like? We know at Rideau our building is old. It's in an older neighborhood. It is near like the core of downtown historically in Calgary. Other schools, if you go out to the newer suburbs, the schools are brand new. They've been incorporated in the neighborhood in different ways. So how physically does your school exist? Right now, our school is still there physically, but we are not part of it. So that totally changes and impacts things. What do you feel is better for students? To be a part of that building, to be away from that building, doing online or distanced education? How long should students be there? Should it be a full 8-hour day, like a typical working day, to get students used to that? Should it be smaller chunks that are devoted to different things? So start thinking of how your school is going to take shape. And once you've got an idea for what your ideal education would be like, what it would focus on, how it would deliver content, you're going to have to come up with a few things to sell me on your school. So the first thing you are going to create, I have a list here. I will put this up online. You are going to need a propaganda poster. Now, obviously, this isn't full-on propaganda. We're not like trying to politically convince people, but you are trying to sell me on your school. As part of your poster, you're going to need a slogan for your school. I recall at Rideau Park, our official slogan was "Always forward, never backward." Most of us didn't know that. Miss Haddon did, and she would say it, and it was kind of funny because we'd be like, "Why does she keep saying that?" And she was like, "It's the school's official motto." You know now that on the school walls we have empathy, compassion, integrity. So, your slogan is going to reflect what the current students are taught to believe and what the school values. Once you've got those things, you're going to have a classroom floor plan or a map of your entire campus. You can do either or both. And then finally, you are going to give a speech to a graduating class. And this speech will highlight the accomplishments that students at your school are expected to achieve and how they achieve them. So let's take a look at some ideas to help you get this going. We've got a couple of propaganda posters here. I flipped by the first one really fast. The classic United States, Uncle Sam, I Want You. That is a really typical thing for a poster to do, is to have an imaginary ideal representative of the country or the school. In America's case, it was this concept of Uncle Sam, who took care of the country and needed your help. This particular one, Keep Calm and Carry On, long before it became a meme, it was used in Britain during World War II. The slogan was repeated on the radio. The posters were hung everywhere. And it was in World War II during the Blitz. And people were terrified. Bombs were falling. German planes were bombing the city at night. What should you do? You should keep calm. Carry on your daily routine. When those sirens go off, get yourself to an air raid shelter. But other than that, keep living. And so you've got the crown as the symbol of government. You've only got 2 colors. This is important in propaganda posters. They're usually 2, possibly 3 colors, because they don't want you to spend a lot of time figuring out the poster. They want it to be striking and obvious. The message is there. The colors deliver it quickly. Another World War II, loose lips might sink ships. You see we've got only a few colors. We've got the red, the blue, and the writing is in white and yellow to highlight it. And again, very simple slogan. During World War II, be careful. If you know there's a boat leaving, don't talk about it. Somebody could be a spy and reporting it. So it's this idea that the image gets your attention, tells you what it's about. The slogan gets the idea across one sentence really quickly. A bit of a play on the classic novel 1984 by George Orwell, Big Brother is Watching You. Again, another made-up character. Big Brother is supposed to be guiding this society, taking care of it. We see his image at the top, white and red, get the image in people's head really quickly, and a quick slogan. Big Brother is watching you. Do the right thing. Even if you can't read the writing, you can tell it's a propaganda poster. Star Wars, I love it. Had to throw it in there. We've got Darth Vader and the troops and some illegible writing. Who knows? Don't be rebel scum. But you can tell it is supposed to be a classic propaganda poster. 3 colors, striking image, and the writing at the bottom very brief. Little bit of joke about social media. We've got Facebook, join the cause. Your friends' farms need you. Twitter, be brief. The enemy might be listening in. And all must be shared to win the war. Google+, which is a platform that is, no longer with us. So that propaganda poster didn't fly so well. So, a reminder here, 2 to 4 solid colors. A symbol representing the cause or an imaginary person that is an ideal of your school, and a short, catchy slogan. You don't want a full paragraph. You want one sentence that gets an idea of what your school is about. So your school design, you could do something like this and have an entire school layout. We've got the gym, we've got our central concourse, classrooms, performance center, or you could go with a classroom map. This is very kind of typical classroom map. We've got art center, science center, our desk set up, teacher's desk, a lovely little puzzle table for class reading and stuff. Elementary teachers, they really like those puzzle tables. Wait a minute, we have them all over our library at school. Puzzle tables. Finally, you are going to need to create for your school a commencement speech, a graduation speech for your graduates that are going out in the world. And you are going to have 3 paragraphs minimum to do this. If you go over 3, fantastic. I will love it. But you definitely need no less than 3. And your speech is going to highlight the achievements of your students at your imaginary school and how they reached those lofty heights of achievement, the things that they did, how they did them, and that will indeed highlight the curriculum of your school. So if your school is athletics focused, you might be talking about fitness levels, sports trophies, and which students achieved them for what. You might have a good sportsmanship award that you highlight in your speech. I'm going to link a few YouTube videos after my lovely video that I put on in the D2L, and there are two of them on what school should be about. One of them is by CGP Grey, talking about this whole online education, which I thought was really apropos at this time. The other one is a Prince EA video where he talks about this concept of what is school even for? And he talks about some of the typical ideas and why he feels they're wrong. I'll leave it up to you to decide. And then I am going to link to two wonderful graduation speeches. One is by Neil Gaiman, and it is called Make Good Art. The other one is much older. It was addressed to the class of 1999, and it is called Wear Sunscreen. It is by Baz Luhrmann. It became viral before there was a viral to become. It was distributed around, and there were tons of people that said, oh no, he wrote this, she wrote this. Google it. It's got quite an interesting history, and it was actually written by a journalist, handed out everywhere, claimed credit, and then turned into the song that you'll see on the video by Baz Luhrmann. And I'm going to leave you with a graduation speech that I wrote for my grade 8 class this year. I originally wrote this as a yearbook message, but Madame Ford tells me that it's a little bit long, so she might have to edit it down. So I thought I would inspire you by giving you the whole thing right here. Ready for it? I shall commence. Ask a teacher about their class of kids, and they will tell you that that class was unique, special, and brimming with its own brands of challenges and strengths. And so they are. So they all are. That said, when I walked into my room at the beginning of the 2019-2020 school year and locked eyes with X, standing at the front of the class while the other students carefully stood watch over the tied-up forms of the Zenobian ninja bounty hunters that had been sent to collect my head for their emperor, I knew that this group was indeed special. While many teachers would have been effusive in their thanks and praise, I stayed cool, remembering the words of my long-dead mentor, Niccolo Machiavelli. In gifts and praise be sparing, in punishment all-consuming. Looking away from X's eyes, I merely nodded to the group and said, well done, but this is grade 8 humanities, and expectations will be high. The expectations were indeed high, and it is with no little pride that I recall how they were met. Although I may indeed be sparing in my praise, I always remember Julius Caesar's words to me on the windswept battlefields of Germania as he gave me command of the 9th Legion. Remember, Jay, when handing over the eagle of command, deliver it with dignity and a list of the Legion's accomplishments. It is with those words still in my heart that I salute you, grade 8s of 2019-2020. I salute you, students K, N, Y, and A, for your amazing work on your Aztec-Colombian exchange project. Your use of CRISPR to analyze DNA from an Aztec bone fragment and reveal how chromosomes within that DNA could be altered to give immunity to the host of European diseases that decimated the Aztec Empire was impressive. Furthermore, your decision after long debate of Charles Sanders Peirce's theory of pragmatism to not alter the space-time continuum through using your Higgs-Bluesian time machine to resurrect the Aztec Empire showed remarkable maturity. I salute you, Student L. Your presentation on the Aztec calendar and its proof of the necessity for human sacrifice in the 21st century was well researched and compelling. Students G, D, O, and R, your volunteer roles were appreciated, and you are missed. I salute you, students Q, Y, and F. Your recreation of a 15th century Shakespearean theatre, complete with groundlings, was very well done. Well researched and compelling. I regret to inform that your marks would have been higher had you not included the recreation of the bear baiting pits and public execution forums. I salute you, student H. Your examination of Japanese sword techniques and the realization that Musashi's technique could be improved through the application of taiko drumming exercises was exemplary. Your winning of the All Japan Kendo tournament was impressive, especially in light of your tragic leg amputation after the dreaded dodge ball incident in Mr. P's phys ed class. I salute you, students A, P, H, Y, and W. Your detailed recreation of a Platonic questioning session showed great insight into the role of education in creation of a world view. Rest assured, I marked you all fairly and hold no grudge against you for your attempt to poison me with hemlock on the grounds that I was corrupting the youth. And it is with sadness in my heart that I bid you all farewell. I have not been this proud since the class of 2018-2019 was at the center of a United Nations tribunal for our class project recreating a Platonic philosopher king government in what we surely did not know was Upper Slavovian national territory. I will miss you all, and even the knowledge that my hawking time chronometer has shown me that most of you will end up in the slave pits of Zargon or the gladiatorial rings of Remulon does not diminish my pride in having taught you. Finally, I apologize for my heavy-handed manner in keeping your identities under wrap, but the administrative fallout from our class project on the bubonic plague creating a better European society and its recreation has left me shy of administrative scrutiny. Congratulations all. There it is, guys. My graduation speech for you. Hope you liked it. I'm looking forward to reading yours. Your innovation and technology assignments have been rolling in, and they are amazing. I will post up a PDF that has the requirements for this Utopian School project on it. I'm trying something new. I did the PDF on a Rocket Book, which is a sketchbook that you scan and transfer to PDF or JPEG. So tell me what you think of it. I thought it might be interesting because it looks a lot more like when I used to write our assignment requirements up on the whiteboard and leave them there instead of like just a typical PDF. But let me know what you think and if it's an improvement to the way these sessions go or not. So, in closing, you are going to have a concept of a utopian school. And you are going to tell me about your utopian school through a propaganda poster symbolizing your school, a slogan that gives the core values or ideas behind your school, a map of either a classroom or the entire campus or both so that I get a feeling for what's important. Again, going to the athletic school example, you would probably have a lot more tennis courts and skating rinks than if your school was a science-centered school, in which case I'd see labs or maybe biology experiments in one section and physics in another section. And then finally, a minimum 3-paragraph graduation speech highlighting your students' achievements and the curriculum of your school. Be sure to watch the 4 YouTube videos that I post after mine. I think you'll really like them. They're very interesting and they're a good place to get some thoughts on what your ideal school would be like. I mean, it's easy just to say, oh, definitely an art school. But when you see these people and the kind of life experience and educational experience that they have and what they think is important for students to be concentrating on, it might change up your ideas. So go forth, enjoy, and I will have the due date posted up on the D2L today. Thank you for joining me in another fine episode of This is the Way of Humanities. Please, if you haven't already done so, comment, like, subscribe, definitely with the comments. I love seeing them. I love to know what you guys are thinking of the videos and the assignments. Email, also welcome, but I read both. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.